Hey friends, Miss Cassie here with Solon Public Library's Digital Storytime. This month we're going to be talking all about outer space. And today we're going to be talking about astronauts, or the people who travel to outer space. But first we need to sing our welcome song, and we need to get our clapping hands ready. So we're going to wiggle our fingers and shake our hands and rub them together really fast, really fast, really fast, and put them on our knees. Okay, here we go. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. If you want to read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you want to read a book, clap your hands. All right, what do we do after we clap our hands? That's right, we stomp our feet. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. If you want to read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you want to read a book, stomp your feet. All right, what do we do after we stomp our feet? That's right, we twirl around. If you want to read a book, twirl around. If you want to read a book, twirl around. If you want to read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you want to read a book, twirl around. All right, and for our last verse, we're going to be as quiet as we can. And we're going to whisper, hooray! If you want to read a book, whisper hooray, hooray! If you want to read a book, whisper hooray, hooray! If you want to read a book, have a seat and take a look. If you want to read a book, whisper hooray, hooray! All right, friends, our theme song this month is Solar System in Motion. And we are going to learn 3 signs in American Sign Language to go along with our song. So the first sign is Earth. So one hand is going to be flat like the ground, and then we're going to take our thumb and our middle finger and touch them to the ground and kind of wiggle it back and forth. Earth. Earth. Next, we're going to learn the sign for moon. So we're going to make a C shape with our hand, and we're going to bring it towards our temple. Moon. Moon. And lastly, we're going to learn the word for sun. So we're going to take our fingers and have them all touch each other, and then we're going to spin them around and spread our fingers out like the rays of the sun are shining on our faces. Sun. Sun. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. The earth turns around, the earth turns around. Once a day, every day, the earth turns around. The moon goes round the earth, the moon goes round the earth. Once a month, every month, the moon goes round the earth. The earth goes round the sun, the earth goes round the sun. Once a year, every year, the earth goes round the sun. Yay! Good job, friends. You learned 3 new words for that song, and we are going to practice those every week this month as we sing our theme song, Solar System in Motion. Our first book today is called May Among the Stars, and it's written by Radha Ahmed and illustrated by Stacia Burrington. And this is a picture book inspired by a real-life astronaut named Mae Jemison, who was the first Black woman in space. Pretty cool. Little Mae was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little Mae was different. One day, May was working on an assignment for school about what she wanted to be when she grew up. Look, you can see she's thinking, what do I want to be when I grow up? And maybe you can take a minute and think, what do I want to be when I grow up? What will you tell them, May? I will tell them I want to see Earth. Earth, right? This is Earth, May, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, and the mountains. We live on Earth. I know, but I want to see Earth from out there. And look, she's pointing at the sky. And look, what's in this picture? She's pointing at the sky, and what do you see in the picture? That's right, the moon. And look, it's crescent-shaped, it's C-shaped, just like our sign for the word moon. That's an amazing plan, little May. Then you have to become an astronaut. That way you can see Earth from space. Astronaut? Do you think I could do that? Of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and you work hard for it, anything is possible. So May asked her mom to take her to the library, and she searched for books about space and astronauts. And look, do you see her wagon? It is stacked full of books about things she's interested in, space and astronauts. And if you are interested in space and astronauts, you can come here to our library and check out books about that or anything else that gets you excited for thinking about the future. After dinner, May drew pictures of space, and she even made her own astronaut costume out of old orange curtains and cardboard boxes. And look, you can see she made a cardboard rocket too. She's already imagining what it will be like to be an astronaut. Later, she asked her dad, "But how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible." "You will find your way, May, because if you dream it, believe in it, and work hard for it, anything is possible." But space is so far away. It's closer than you think, little May, and you may get there sooner than you think. So look, her dad's standing next to something. It's a special tool. Do you know what it's called? Yeah, it's a telescope. And a telescope is like really powerful binoculars. And so you look in the small end, and then you can see things that are really far away, like in outer space, and you can see them like they're much closer. So you can look at the surface of the moon, or you can look at star constellations, that's patterns that the stars make in the sky. If there's a rocket, or excuse me, not a rocket, a meteor, a comet going past, you can see that. So that's a great way to learn more about outer space, right? That night, May had a happy dream. She was dancing in space, surrounded by billions of sparkling stars. Below her, she could see Earth floating and turning like a shining crystal ball. Oh, that sounds like a nice dream, doesn't it? The next morning, May told her parents about her dream. She wanted to tell everyone, and every time she talked about it, her eyes would light up. It's a story that made her happy, right? In the classroom, her teacher, Miss Bell, told everyone to stand in a line on the rug. Today, we are all going to share our dreams about the future. What do you want to be, And what do you want to do when you grow up? Who wants to go first? And so look, all the friends in the classroom are saying what they want to be when they grow up. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a football player. I want to be a mom. And then May says, I want to go to space. I want to be an astronaut. And all the kids started laughing. Is that kind to laugh at someone else's dreams? Something that someone is sharing with you about themselves? That's not very kind. And her teacher says, May, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Nursing would be a good profession for someone like you. But I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut. May felt very disappointed. Look at this picture. You can see she's feeling disappointed. The colors are dull. She has tired eyes and no smile, right? She's feeling disappointed and a little sad. On her way home from school, May was quiet. She looked out the car window. Her world turned blue and cold. Nothing was the way it used to be. At home, she started crying. Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut. What a silly thing to say, said her mother. She told me I should be a nurse instead, said May. Her mom wiped away her tears. My dear May, I hope you didn't believe her. Of course I believed her. She is my teacher. I'm sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dream, May, and go to space. So her mom is encouraging her, right, to work towards her goal. Thank you, Mom. I promise when I get to space, I will wave to you and Dad from the spaceship. Her mom took her hand and they started dancing. You must always repeat to yourself, if I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and if I work hard for it, anything is possible. How do you think May is feeling now? Yeah, I think she's happy. She has a smile on her face, and look, the whole world has color to it now. It has rainbow colors because she is feeling hopeful. May went on dreaming, believing, and working really hard. And guess what? She went to space and waved to her mom and dad on Earth. The end. And at the end of the book, there's additional information about the real Dr. Mae Jemison, who was a real astronaut who went to outer space. And she also was the first real astronaut to be on the TV show Star Trek about astronauts. So that's pretty cool too. All right, so if you want to go traveling to outer space, you have special clothes that you need to wear to keep your body safe. So here we have our astronaut, and he is getting ready to go to outer space, but he is not quite ready yet. So he is missing a few important pieces to his uniform. So the first thing he's missing is he's got his socks on, but what else needs to go on his feet for him to be safe when he's traveling through space? Yeah, he needs his shoes or his astronaut boots. So we're going to put those on our astronaut here, and we're going to sing our song about it. If you're traveling in space, wear your boots. If you're traveling in space, wear your boots. If you're traveling in space, this is what you have to do. If you're traveling in space, wear your boots. All right, what else is missing from his uniform? So his whole body needs to be covered to keep him safe in outer space. But I see some bare hands right here. What does he need to put on his hands and his arms to keep him safe while he's traveling through space? That's right, he needs some gloves. So here we are, we're gonna put our gloves on our astronaut. That will keep his hands safe in outer space. If you're traveling in space, wear your gloves. If you're traveling in space, wear your gloves. If you're traveling in space, this is what you have to do. If you're traveling in space, wear your gloves. All right, there's one last piece to his uniform that is missing. Can you think what it is? Yeah, look, his head is totally exposed. So he needs a special helmet. And this is a special astronaut helmet because it protects his head to keep him safe, but he can still see through the helmet. So it's different than our bike helmets, right, that we put on the tops of our heads. This helmet goes all the way around his whole head. If you're traveling in space, wear your helmet. If you're traveling in space, wear your helmet. If you're traveling in space, this is what you've got to do. If you're traveling in space, wear your helmet. All right, I think our astronaut is all ready to go. Should we count down and blast him off in the rocket? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Yay! All right, friends, so now we are astronauts. We're flying off in space, and we're going to sing a song about all the things that we can see in outer space. And it goes like this. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. I think we'll see the moon up there. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. I think we'll see some planets there. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. I think we'll see some stars out there. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. We're flying off in space. Maybe we'll see some aliens there. We're flying off in space. Yay! Okay, friends, our last book today is called Maustronaut. And this book is written by a real astronaut Mark Kelly. And astronaut Mark Kelly is a very cool astronaut because he and his identical twin brother are both astronauts. And if you go to the website Storytime in Space, you can hear this book read, I believe, by astronaut Mark Kelly's brother on the International Space Station. So that is pretty cool. And there's a lot of other picture books read by astronauts while they're floating in space. So that's a fun resource to check out if you want to hear some books read by some astronauts. But today we are going to read this book together, Maustronaut. The space shuttle is set for a launch, and the astronauts are doing their last-minute training to prepare for the mission. So look, you can see the astronauts, they have their special helmets on, their special uniforms to keep them safe. And then there's also the scientists that are going to stay on Earth to help them navigate. And they're all working together to get the space shuttle ready. NASA is sending along some special guests for this flight, and they're in training too. What are these animals called? That's right, they are mice. And look, they are doing their own exercises and practicing to get ready to go to outer space too. One mouse is smaller than all the rest. His name is Meteor. The other mice know he won't be chosen for this important mission. But someone has his eye on Meteor, and he's impressed with the little mouse's hard work. Look, there's Meteor. He's running on the mouse wheel. And while the other mice are standing around talking, right? He is working hard. The shuttle commander announces that 6 mice will be selected for this flight. 6. Can you show me 6? 5 plus 1 is 6. So he picks 5 of the biggest and strongest mice. But for the 6th spot, to everyone's surprise, he chooses Meteor. Are you surprised by that? I'm not surprised. Meteor is a hard worker. All 6 mice are taken to their new home, a special cage called the Mouse Hotel. The other mice are nervous as the countdown begins, but not Meteor. Look, you can see in this picture, he looks very confident, don't you think? Yeah. All right, we're going to count down. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Look, there goes the shuttle. It's headed to outer space. At first, the mice are pressed up flat against their cages by the power of the launch. But then the pressure goes away, and the other mice cling to their cage in terror. But not Meteor. He loves the feeling of weightlessness. So look, they're all just floating around because gravity, the thing that pulls us down, that when we fall on the ground, or if we drop something, it goes down. In outer space, gravity works differently. That means that they get to float around. They don't have to walk on the ground. And Meteor loves it. Hey, little guy, the commander says. You're a natural, a real live Maustronaut. Meteor is taken from his cage and gets a tour of the shuttle. He can even see Earth way off in the distance. Earth, he can see it from outer space, just like Mae Jemison wanted to do, right? The astronauts are all very busy during the 14-day flight. There are spacewalks to take and experiments to conduct. Because did you know that astronauts are also scientists? That's why they get sent out to outer space, is so that we can learn more about the world outside of the planet Earth. So Meteor wonders, what can I do to help? And then, while answering an email, one of the astronauts notices a key to the control panel is stuck between the monitors. And when he tries to get it out, it accidentally gets wedged further in. This isn't good, says the commander. We need that key back. So one astronaut tries to move the monitor, but it doesn't budge. Another slips her fingers down in the crack, but the key is stuck down there too deeply. One even tries to push the key out with a long piece of metal with no luck. No one can reach it. That's a problem. and the astronauts are getting worried. But as they discuss the problem, a tiny figure has an idea. Being the smallest isn't a bad thing, Meteor says to himself. Maybe I can be useful on this flight. What do you think Meteor is going to do? Do you think he's going to try to get the key out from in between the monitors where it's stuck? Yep, there he goes. Meteor squeezes his way into the crack. The space is dark and cramped, but Meteor spots the key and he tugs on it with all his might. Hey, look what our tiny friend has done, the commander says. He saved the mission. Look, and there he is floating holding the key. He got it out. When the shuttle returns to Earth, Meteor is declared a hero. He's even given a brand new uniform and an official title, Maustronaut. All the astronauts cheer and applaud, but Meteor is already thinking about his next big mission. And then in the back of this book, you can hear more about the real-life mouse that inspired this pretend story about a Maustronaut. I learned some more things about NASA and astronauts that go to outer space. Pretty fun. All right, friends, that is the end of our story time this week. And all of our story times this month are sponsored by the Centennial Lions Club here in Solon. And they do lots of awesome things like eye screenings before the start of school. So those are eye tests to make sure that friends that are starting school for the first time are going to be able to see the board and see their teacher while they are at school. And if they can't, then that means they need to get glasses, just like I have glasses, to help them so that they can learn better. The Centennial Lions Club also donates books to the library about different topics, and they do lots of great work here in our community, and we are so lucky to have them. And this month, they're sponsoring all of our story times, and so we are so grateful for their support. And now it's time for our goodbye song. We read a book and we played a game and we sang a song together. We read a book and we played a game. We had a fun adventure. Now go read a book and go play a game and sing a little tune. Go read a book and go play a game. We'll see you back here soon. See you next time, friends. Bye.